Hey there, it's Dave. We just launched some new features for all of you real estate investors out there that are doing new construction projects. So FlipperForce, it's primarily going to be used by house flippers and rehabbers that are buying existing properties, they're renovating the properties, and they're reselling the properties for a profit, or they're renting out those properties long term. But a lot of the tools and functionality in FlipperForce are also beneficial to those real estate investors that might be buying an empty lot and then building a new house on it, or those investors that might be buying an existing house, tearing it down, and then building a new house on it to sell it for a quick profit or renting it out long term. So I'm going to show you these new construction features that we've added into FlipperForce. So again, basically FlipperForce has a bunch of tools that will be beneficial to new construction projects, but the problem is with our current layout is that a lot of it has just terminology differences between flips and new construction. So our flip analyzer, for example, is called the flip analyzer. If you click on it, all of the terminology on the flip analyzer after repair value, so what's the property worth after renovations, how much did you purchase the property for, you've got repair costs here, so how much is a renovation going to cost. So a bunch of terminology that doesn't really make sense to a new construction projects. So what we've done is, if you go over here to your property details page, or when you add a new project, you can select the strategy that you are going to be using for this project. So you'll see we've got the flip strategies, so fix and flip, wholesale, got rental strategies, and then we've got new construction strategies. So we've got a strategy for building a property to sell it, so this would be like a spec home build, or we've got an option for building a property to rent it out long term. So what you'll notice is when we change the strategy here, so if I change this to build to sell and then I save that, you're going to notice that there's going to be some UI changes, some terminology changes throughout the entire app. So basically what we've done is, when you change that strategy to a new construction strategy, now you can see that the flip analyzer was changed to the build analyzer. So instead of you analyzing a rehab or a house flip where you're buying an existing property, you're doing a renovation, you can see now it's more tailored for when you are buying an existing lot and then you are doing construction. So you can see the terminology kind of changes here. So you've got the resale value. So let's say that the property is going to be worth $400,000 after we build the property, and then we can purchase the lot for maybe $100,000 here. And you'll see construction costs, instead of it being renovation costs, it says construction costs now. So that makes a lot more sense for a new construction project instead of what it was before with the renovation terminology. And let's say that we are building a property and it's going to be 2,000 square feet and it's going to cost us $125 a square foot to build it. So you can see our construction cost is now $250,000, and then we can go in and we can analyze the rest of the stuff here: buying costs, holding costs, selling costs. It's got your construction timeline. All of the terminology has been changed to better reflect an actual new construction project instead of it being a flip where you're renovating a property. So you'll notice that, as you go through the flip analysis or the build analysis in this scenario, all of the terminology throughout the app for new construction has been tweaked and modified to reflect a new construction project. So that way it makes a lot more sense for those of you that are doing new home builds and new construction projects. If you go over here to the BRRRR analyzer here, it's going to be buy and build instead of buy rehab. So again, stuff like that all the way throughout the app. We've got our estimator. Instead of being the repair estimator, it's the build estimator now. So wherever you would have seen like rehab and stuff like that throughout the app, you're now going to see construction terminology and stuff like that. So a bunch of UI changes, terminology changes throughout the entire app that will better reflect what you guys are doing as new home builders or spec builders or build to rent investors. So hopefully you like those new changes if you are an investor that's doing new construction projects. If you do see any terminology or anything in the app that you'd like for us to take a look at or change, just let us know.